cameraman. All right, I'll begin. So if you're like me, you have to have your daily fix of caffeine when you wake up in the morning to really feel like you can function properly throughout the day. I know that before class, I've got to have my Mountain Dew or my Starbucks before I go, otherwise I probably will fall asleep in class and not remember a single thing that I learned. Had that experience too many times. I have this concept that I need caffeine. If you have this concept too, you're not alone. John Everett claims that 150 million people in the U.S. drink coffee daily, on average 2 cups of coffee. There are pros and cons to caffeine, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of those very shortly. First off, what is caffeine? We toss around the term pretty loosely, like this has caffeine, this doesn't, but do we actually really know what it does? Caffeine is a nervous system stimulant that basically activates your brain more so than what your body already does. It provides you an extra burst of energy when you're feeling tired or when you are dragging a little bit. It's found naturally in foods like coffee beans and tea leaves and even cocoa beans. So when you eat that Hershey bar that's made with real cocoa, you might notice that you're feeling a little more rejuvenated than if you eat Skittles or some other type of candy. It's also added to food, drinks, and medicines inorganically to compensate for the fact that some of them may make you drowsy or may make you feel a little lethargic, and it wants you to, the medicine's designed to help energize you. Also, something that's very interesting is Medline claims that our diet doesn't need caffeine. It is not a nutritional necessity, as much as we might like to think that it is. So to start us off on the pros, how does caffeine actually help our bodies? So as many of you may know, it is a short-term solution to fatigue. When I'm up studying late at night and I know I've got to put in a couple more hours before my test tomorrow, I know that I've got to pop open a Mountain Dew or go get a Starbucks to help myself stay awake. I need that extra caffeine, that extra stimulation. Additionally, John Ebert claims that it reduces your body mass. And fortunately for us, that means it would increase our metabolism, help us burn off food faster than the average person would burn off food. But unfortunately, it does make you hungrier, so I guess you kind of have to compensate for that. Additionally, Mauricio Fava claims that regular coffee contains antioxidants that are actually really healthy for the brain. So coffee is a natural product from coffee beans that are grown, and antioxidants are excellent for your brain. So that is a super great alternative to get your nutrients. On the flip side, how does caffeine harm us? As many of you know, it is addictive. It is very prevalent when you realize that last year you only had to drink 1 cup of coffee, and this year you now have to start drinking 2 cups because the FDA says you have developed a tolerance for this 1 cup of coffee. Your body is used to it and grown accustomed to it, so you have to now ingest 2 cups of coffee and double the caffeine to actually feel the same effect. Also, I discovered when I went to the physician that caffeine also heightens your anxiety. I couldn't figure out why all of a sudden I was having to cope with more stress than I was used to. And my physician said, well, are you maybe drinking more caffeine than you're used to? And I said, yeah, that's totally it. It's finals and I'm drinking a lot of caffeine. And she said, well, that'll do it. Caffeine definitely heightens stress and makes you more prone to stress. Also, caffeine makes you more prone to depression and restlessness, falling asleep at night, because it's designed to keep you awake at night. But, on the other hand, a Mind, Mood, and Memory article says that caffeine may actually help depression. It may actually make you happier if you are feeling depressed because it stimulates your brain. So in conclusion, I'm going to pass around this chart that was provided by the FDA, and it has a list of products on here, different beverages, different foods, and also the caffeine content provided on here. Now, Medline claims that you're supposed to consume 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per day. So you can basically just check this out and see maybe what you eat, what you drink, and how you fall along the spectrum. Basically, what I'm trying to get at with this chart is be informed. Be informed about what you put into your body and what you're taking in, so that when your body responds to it, you can be aware of what you're doing to make it respond that way. The FDA knows of a 19-year-old who died after consuming too many caffeine pills to stay awake. Now, I know that may sound scary, and that is an extreme, but I can honestly say that I'm not going to stop drinking my Mountain Dew or my Starbucks because I've seen the positives and negative sides of caffeine. You just have to compensate. So bottom line, do what is best for you. We're all different people, and we all have different things that works for us. Do what is best for you, and you will be happy. Thanks, and kick 'em.